Today's video and recipe comes from the Disney Princess Cookbook, and it is Mulan inspired, and it is a lucky cucumber salad. There's the picture of what the salad looks like. And this is a pretty simple, straightforward recipe. There's only about 5 or 6 ingredients in it. It's basically taking a cucumber. It recommends an English cucumber, which is basically like, I think a seedless cucumber, or they call them a hothouse cucumber. I think I've seen the grocery store. There's a couple names they go by. Anyway, you add some rice vinegar and a few other ingredients, and then you toss it in the fridge and let it sit for at least 30 minutes, it says, before serving. And then you've got your little salad. One thing to note, it mentions a dash of crushed red pepper flakes and that it's optional. And it warns you that, red pepper flakes can be spicy, so be careful with them. I plan to add the crushed red pepper flakes because I like a little bit of kick, and I actually really like crushed red pepper. It's one of those things I love to put on like pizza and stuff. So I'm planning to add it to this. I'm not going to add a lot to start. It's one of those things I figured I can always adjust the taste later as I'm doing it. But it is something I do plan to add, but just note it's not something you absolutely have to add when you're making this recipe. All right, let's put it together and then see how it tastes. So here I'm adding the rice vinegar, some sugar. Now I'm adding some toasted sesame seeds and the crushed red pepper. Mixing it all together. Now I'm letting it get a good shake up before I put it into the fridge. Okay, so I have my cucumber salad here ready to try. It actually has been soaking for about 24 hours. I never got around to taste testing it yesterday. When I made it, I got full with some other stuff and kind of forgot about it. So here comes the first bite. You know what? That's actually really nice. I was worried that sitting in vinegar for too long, that would start to taste more pickly, but it really doesn't. The crushed red pepper adds a really nice kick to it with the vinegar and the sesame seeds and everything. It just really works together really well. It's actually a nice healthy snack for a cucumber. Final thoughts and review time on the Lucky Cucumber Salad from the Disney Princess Cookbook. I actually overall really did enjoy this. I thought it was really nice. It was light and refreshing. I thought it was a different way to eat cucumbers than what I'm used to or what I've done in the past. And it's really interesting. Cucumber is one of those foods that I enjoy, but like in traditional salads, like lettuce and tomato, or sometimes I've had them with dips or hummus, or, I've had them as kind of like an appetizer. They use like a cucumber instead of a cracker or something. And overall, I enjoy them. It's funny because cucumber is not one of those things I can sit there and just eat a lot of, like repeatedly. So the downside with this is this salad was great and it was refreshing and light, but I can only eat like a little bit at a time, and it did go bad after a few days. So it doesn't really have a long shelf life, but it was tasty. I thought it was unique and something different for cucumbers. So with that being said, let's get into the ratings. The first rating is the ingredients on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being easy to find, relatively inexpensive ingredients, with a 5 being harder to find or pricier ingredients. I'm gonna give this like a 1.5 or 2. To me, I had to spend a little bit of money because it called for rice vinegar and toasted sesame seeds, and those weren't things that I had. And neither of them were super expensive, but I did have to invest a little bit on that in the cucumber. So I do have that stuff now because they're just things I don't tend to cook with often. So I had a little bit of money invested in it. Difficulty rating on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being easy and 5 being difficult. This is definitely a 1. This is simple, easy to put together. You just chop up a cucumber, you add your vinegar and a couple of the other ingredients, you let it sit in the fridge for a little bit, and you've got a salad, which is great. A scale of 1 to 5 on would I make this again, with a 1 being 0%, never going to happen, with a 5 being 100% absolutely. I think I will give it a 5. I really did like it. Like I said, I'm not big on cucumber. It's not something I go out of my way to eat too often, but I do buy them from time to time to use them for other things, like in hummus or on traditional salads. And I feel like every time I do, I end up having cucumber left, and I would always look for something different to do it with. And since I bought the rice vinegar and all the other stuff, I'm definitely probably going to make this again with it as far as that goes. But I think what I'll do is I'll probably cut the recipe in half because, again, it didn't last very long. It was starting to kind of go bad. The cucumbers, you could tell, were kind of like wilting and starting to turn after a few days. So what I'd probably do is actually cut this recipe in half and then make it from that. But it was well enough that I did enjoy it. It's a nice, light, healthy snack. I liked the kick from the red pepper and a little bit of sweetness from the sugar, and it just blended well together. So overall, winner of a recipe for me.